African people and African consciousness is something where a whole heap of people take for granted. Them feel say, anytime you talk about Africa, you really come like an escapist. Yeah, them really feel say, why you come like an escapist. Operator run go left me. Operator, since up yeah. Operator go left me. I take too long here, operator. What you say? She gone left me. Yeah, them feel say, boy, right now, when you talk about Africa, it's like an escapist thing because so much things are going on in Jamaica where you really want to deal with Africa for. But you know, say Jamaican are the only set of people, when we say only set of, but black people are the only set of people who are outside of Africa and thinks about Africa, you know. Because all other groups of people, you know, even if them personally never go there yet, and them know say them heritage stick there so, and them ancestral card still tie there so, them look out for that place of origin. We lose our mental capacity to realize and understand that that Africa is a very important part of our being, just like how the Chinese see China as a part of them being, and yet still most Chinese when a Jamaica never actually go to China yet. But we still call them Chinese, even though them never go to China yet. And guess what? Them don't feel no way if you call them Chinese. It's only black people in a Jamaica feel a way when you tell them say them African. Only black people in a Jamaica feel a way when you tell them say, you know, say African. Them say, me not African, me never go Africa yet. Nobody call me an African. Yeah, so the people them suffer, they go whole heap of war and killing and going and all them something there. It's a terrible way to view Africa, especially in this 21st century, when so much positive things is taking place in Africa that is hardly told or reported by the major news reports. Yes. I mean, entire year famine a go on, you hear enough about Africa. Entire year with them called tribal war, you hear enough about Africa. But when it comes on to development and people power, and how people are turning around them life and shape new boundaries and new ideas and function in certain way that is what we call worldwide humanitarian life, living. You don't really hear nothing about it more than so. Yeah. You know, hear and really we have to emphasize this because it's a serious thing. 15 years ago, I think it's about 15 years ago, there was what we would call a serious genocide in Rwanda and Burundi, where you have nation war, or them called tribal war, a fight, and hundreds of people dead. Them call it one of the biggest genocides in Africa. Yet still, 15 years after, that country, Rwanda, is now seen as a beacon of development in that part of Africa, where they are now saying, they are now comparing Rwanda to Switzerland, saying that it is the Switzerland of Africa. Now the reason why I mention this is to really reflect on Jamaica. Because people look on Jamaica now, and we say, PNP are ruled for almost 20 years, and we have so much devastation and downturn in the Jamaican economy. And then we see this guy, this golden guy come, and we see the thing get worse. Go up to IMF and hoping that things are going to get better. Now we hear everybody talk about Singapore, and all these things. Singapore not have the same kind of government what we have. Singapore not have no democratic government. You understand? It's a different kind of government, different way of doing things, but them a progress. Now we are say maybe we should send a delegation to Rwanda Cause we know Shaggy and Sean Paul got on there that day, go perform. And I was talking to a Rwandan and a Burundi person the other day, and they must show me so much things. Cause my name fascinate them, because Mutabaruka is from Rwanda name, and most people in the world who come from Rwanda, and then them hear the name Mutabaruka, them associate Rwanda with it because it's a Rwandan name, and them things Mutabaruka come from Rwanda until they meet me, or until them realize through Google or through whatsoever them do. Them find out says really a poet from Jamaica named so, and then them feel even much better if you know say a poet from Jamaica take unto himself a Rwandan name of a great poet in Rwanda. And of recently I was handed, and this is really so sweet to me, I was handed a CD by a Rwandan woman, and that CD was or is performed. The artist on the CD is the sister of Jean-Baptiste Mutabaruka, where I got the name from when I was going to school. Now, after so much years of carrying that name, I now have a CD of the sister of this man who died years ago. I have a CD by her. She's a very elderly woman. But the reason why I bring up Rwanda is because, considering the turmoil and the slaughtering that was going on in Rwanda 15 years ago, to see the country turn around so fast, and the development we are going in Rwanda, the zero tolerance for corruption, where we are trying now attack. Maybe it would be good to send a delegation to Rwanda, because the people them is black people just like we. And if them could have got through such a devastating genocide in them country, and 15 years after them could turn around the country in where we are see it look like now, there must be something that them doing that is right. So I would hope and stress that instead of we keep looking to outside forces and outside situations to solve our problem, maybe we should now look on the South-South dialogue where it's necessary and needed for African people and this part of the world coming together, not only to make Africa a better place, but also to share ideas and thoughts with like people, like heritage, like ideas, because it's Africa. And even though Africa is a continent, but of that continent represents and symbolizes a group of people that is still domiciled in these former slave plantation islands. So, it would be interesting to see if some government in the Caribbean would send a delegation there to find out how is it that these people turn around them countries. So, we don't hear about the developments in Botswana and how them interest rate getting lower, and them, I mean there's some serious development are going on in Africa. I mean, we know about the Darfur, and we know about certain things that are going on in Africa, but it's 53 countries in Africa. 53, and the majority of countries is not going through the turmoil that we conceptualize in our mind through Western media propaganda. We know that. You have places in Africa where you'd have feel say it's New York there. You have places in Africa where you'd have feel say it's St. Thomas there. You have places in Africa where you feel like they are Portland there. You have places in Africa where make you feel like you're there. Los Angeles is a serious thing. But these imagery that them show leave one to believe that there's nothing in Africa that would make you feel good and feel joy about yourself. Because the European them are try sabotage the World Cup. We're supposed to down there. I tell people, say, South Africa is not a safe place. See? It's a serious thing. Yet still, we who go to South Africa and know how South Africa stay. South Africa, they're up there with any first world country. When you talk about infrastructures, when you talk about buildings, when you talk about just the way of life. With their place in Johannesburg, and you can't tell if it's Johannesburg you're there or is Manhattan you're there. And this is another joke talk we make. This is some serious talk. We make DVD tight for sure. Say, boy, watch you now. See it there? The same thing where you run and I go on like the Africa. See it there? Development. You have a place named Melrose. See him like Melrose in Los Angeles, the real IT-tighty area. Where on a bright day in Johannesburg, you see all the so-called middle-class blacks sitting and having cakes and tea on the sidewalk with them, just like Europe. Black people sit down with them tea and them this and them that, and those are you going to the malls and thing, and people don't understand these things, and it may sound like me attack these things, and that's a normal thing to a whole lot of people, but to the normal Jamaica, the normal Jamaican, them don't see Africa in the light there. Them don't see Africa in the light of modernization, technology, science, them don't see it away there. Them still in the frame of work of bang belly picnic, flying at them mouth, whole heap of bush, jungle, whole heap of animal run up and down. Them don't recognize it. The problem I have with all Cape Town is that I have to travel too far if I go somewhere else, pan highways, pan top of highways. I mean, people don't know that. Say you have highway Africa. You go to Ethiopia, in the town. There's more, you have one road. I mean, in all of my travel, I never see so much embassies per one road in my life. It's like every building, every gate on the road there is an embassy. From all over the world, you have embassies on the road there. In Addis Ababa. Massive development. I mean, hotels, what them call it, 5-star hotels where, I mean, can match any hotel in the world, in the West here. But we don't see that part of Africa. We don't see that part of Africa. We see the underdevelopment part, the disease part, the part where make you feel disgusted about Africa, the part where make you say, Mutabaruka talk about Africa on radio every day. You know, see a peer sufferation there. Lie. And if you keep repeating that lie, in your psyche it become true. And guess what? You will always want to go to New York City. Look here, man. A whole heap of Jamaican people around come back to Jamaica, even though a whole heap of gunshot has clapped at Jamaica, but them realize that things are getting so tight and so. And the Obama regime is so Americanized that the little foreigner them were there. It's backseat you have to go take. And one realizing that say more and more people are lose jobs. Hundreds of thousands of people has lost their jobs in the past year in America. And that included migrants, people who did go there for years ago. So everyone have tried to find the moon vine and the moon fig tree as of now. Whole heap of people around come back at Jamaica. Them hear about the crime, but what? Jamaica nice, and that is the lick. Well, whole heap of man again chatting about it. Say Jamaica nice, Canada. Look on the freeze thing we are going over there so now. You know what, Jamaica and I pray and hope. Some people are listening to me now. I wish them could have there Jamaica. When them hear we are taught away. Because them know what me I say. Them know so then they are England. And they really want to come home. But them neighbors string tie in England and so now with whole heap of different them wife, them picnic, them house, them husband, the car with them a pay for, and if them left, then now them can't come back because the visa did up from long time and them never renew them passport and all them something there. I reach them. You think it's a whole heap of one in England now want to come back to Jamaica. Them want to come back. But rule Britannia rule hold them, just like Uncle Sam hold them. So when you hear we are talking about Africa, we're not talking about Africa as no Bible doctrine. We're not talking about Africa as no mythical place in the sky. And we are very aware of the problems of Africa. But we are saying, we must stop negate Africa out of our psyche of places that we need to visit or need to go. If you can afford it. Whole heap of people take their money and buy a plane ticket to go sit down in the cold, in a Connecticut. The cold cut them. Your lip dry like paper. Them would never say, I hear them talk about the fear. Look, it's expensive. A fool is this attack. Because you have people in Jamaica when go to Paris. And we're not talking about artists now. We're talking about people who just want a holiday and they go to Paris. And they go to Greece. And they go to London, Milan, Rome. To say they want to see these European statues and want to see these European architects and all them things there. They would have never in their mind things say, make them go to Timbuktu, where it's much older than Paris, much older than France. Italy. Timbuktu, the place of higher learning. They would have never think for go in the Congo, even though you have places there just like Jamaica where is in turmoil. But just like Jamaica, tourists come here, the place is in turmoil, but them enjoy themselves and want to come back. Let me tell you about Uganda, Botswana. What people don't know, say, in Rwanda, the River Nile go straight from clear down there, so go straight up to Egypt there. Go through Uganda, go up to Ethiopia, go right round, go through Sudan, go down, sway down, so go right down in Egypt. A man could have wonder why me I say down. When them look on the map, him see Egypt above. Well, them twist up her brains in the Rasta. Them twist up her brains in the because I'm going to look at the map that them say, oh, Muta Baruka there, I say, the River Nile I got down. And when him look at the map, him see Rwanda there at the bottom and him see Egypt up at the top. And Muta said, yes, the River Nile got down. It's trick way. Just like what them say must left right. If you left right, you're going to always be wrong. So, Rwanda, open up. Botswana, open up. Mozambique, even though it's Portuguese. Angola, all of these places, you hardly hear about them in the news. And if it's war that go on, you don't hear about them enough. But development is not a sign of news for the Western media. You have to be killing one another for Western news. Or you have to be homophobic to be Western news. But you can't be developing in a very progressive way to be counted in the news. Something have to happen there. But we now I tell you, without any apology, that there are places in Africa that you can go and visit. And for those of people who can afford it, I am suggesting to visit one of the 53 countries that is there in Africa. Senegal, highly developed place, yet still it maintain the rustic, ancient, primitive look. Mali, where most of the mud clot them come from and the amber them. Mali, where housed the first university in Timbuktu, where the Dogon people them sit down and analyze the stars and all the elements in the sky long before Europeans could have done that upon for them calendar. Where the people of Mali move out of Mali and move north into North Africa and help to shape places like Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, where they eventually became the Berbers, and then the Arabs come and invade Africa and Islamize them, and them go inside into Europe, into southern part of Europe like France and Italy, and then they civilized those European people and created classic civilization. And them go under the name of the Moors till they eventually became known as the Moors of Spain. These are some black people, some people who adopted the Muslim religion, coming from North Africa, coming way from down in Mali. You want to see them people, that jewelry. When white people go to these places and buy them jewelry and go back into Europe and put it in a them glass case, me and you can't buy them. Yet still in the market, the common market, them go buy them jewelry there. Just like when you go to Ethiopia and you go in this big market where bigger than Kingston. And you spend the whole day in there and you still not walk out the whole of the market. And you see jewelry in there. And when you take the jewelry them, when Europeans go, you go buy them jewelry there and carry go back to New York and you go walk on 5th Avenue or Fashion, or what them call it, 7th Avenue. And you see them big glass case. And when you look at the mannequin them and you see the jewelry them, where it's not European jewelry, but them proud to tell you which part the jewelry come from. Trust me, your credit card cannot buy it and your checkbook can't buy it. When you look at some furniture, where them having them glass case there, where them call rustic, primitive furniture, where if you go in the market in a Ghana, where you go in the market in a certain place in Africa, man just look at that and go like them never want it. Them just tell you that cheap. When you look at some basket, when you look at some clothes, some cloth, Senegalese cloth or some of the best cloth in the world. But guess what? Black people shun these things. It have become exotic. African things is exotic. So Europeans take it and make it into something. Me remember the first time I walked on Portobello Road in London, in England. And when I walk from one end to the next end, and when I looking at the glass case them, me see some African things in it that me I say, wow. And when you go to this one, where you get this thing, I'm saying, oh, we got it in Mali, we got it in Egypt, we got it in this and that. And when you look on the price, how much pound feet. And then years after, we end up in the same place where them come from. I say, but look at now, when me never used to know Africa, and me go to England go see these things, me I wonder if me could have ever wear them thing there. Because it was so expensive in the glass case. And when you go into the market in Africa, West Africa, me I tell you it's amazing. I wonder if we know where we give up. I wonder if we know the magnificence of Africa, where we give up to invaders and allow the invaders them to invade we now with our, is we allow them to do it now. We allow them to do it. We call them to invade we now. And take away things them and carry go to Europe, go sell we back the same thing. Because when you go to European people house, you see all the artifacts them in them house, on them wall, and I mean them buy it very expensive. Because some of them don't go to Africa. Them wait till them friends go to Africa, who just like Igla. You have French women who go to Morocco and buy things and carry back to Paris. And then they have a big sail out with them friend and make thousands of euros for these cheap goods that they buy in Morocco, Marrakesh, or Assoria, or anywhere them buy it. And them come into Europe and sell it for some big money, where you as a black person cannot buy it. And we is here, turn into China. If we buy some little things where as you touch it, it broke. As you touch it, so it done. Some little things made in China, made in China, made in China, some made in China, made in China. You hardly go in a European white person house and see these made in China. I mean, mad. I'm going to say bad word, pan. I go because I'm bad word. All I'm full. You hardly go in the European people house in a Europe and see these made in China things. These little things that don't have no resale value to them. How black people can understand and realize, say, everything in Africa is an artistic expression. And everything in Africa is a usable artistic expression. And it is very important that we understand that. That when a man carve something on a spoon, he might carve a historical thing. He might carve a thing where, just like how the music reflect a whole heap of things we are going on in the society. Africans use them art, sculpture, painting, anything. And even them utensils is an artistic expression that define them culture. If you stand up and buy art from African, him can tell you where every cut and every crease and everything mean upon the artwork. And we as African people, they are so. We see piece of artwork and all the first thing come up now with me. No want that in my house, yeah? Me no want that in my house. We don't want that in my house. They prefer to go to courts. And the same man company will give you a higher purchase system where him tell you if you buy the thing cash, you will get it for one price. But if you're going to take it for higher purchase, where will allow you to pay for it every month based upon your pay, you have to pay for it more. So most of us choose to do the higher purchase thing because we cannot afford to buy it cash. So we go into these places and buy these things, we have to call it. Things that when you look behind it, it's made in Taiwan and made in Tai 2 and sometimes even Tai 3 too. And we put it in our house. And the crockery and the figurine and the this and the that where black people put in at them house were marked made in China and made in Taiwan. And if it broke and then pick the bongers that it broke, then beat the picnic from Yasso to Deso. And them feel good about it. But if you ever come with an African mask or an African this or an African that, you hear them say, me no want that in my house. Me no want that in my house. And we always musician and artists who are tour the world. You go in a certain hotel and first time man used to talk about like Holiday Inn and you want to go in a Sheraton and you want to go in a Hilton. Nowadays you have some quaint little hotels, man, made out of wood. In some nice little area, places like California and Colorado, for those of us who know who travel. When a man say I put you in a hotel, most of the time we didn't really want to go in a Hilton hotel. But now you have some hotels where don't have no skyscraper building, where It's just all two floor. And when you go in at the room them, or even at the lobby, you see some ethnic, what we call ethnic sculptures and artwork and furnitures, and you ask the people them where them get that, and them say, why is African thing that and is Indian thing that, and it come from some aboriginal country, and you know it come from the Caribbean, you know them way there are some Jamaican furniture you see in them places sometime, you know that you say you call all aboriginal and say wait, a Jamaican man say buy this, you know. You understand? And then we they are so and make them enslaved with thinking to the point where we reject our own thinking, own things, and then on another level we reject ourselves. What a crazy mix up thing this. Very, very crazy.